YouTube was good. It's your boy Jody Joe. Welcome to Jody's Corner. This is jodyscorner.com. Check out the website because we got a lot of fire over there. So, breaking news. Obi-Wan series has been delayed. Words like indefinitely are popping up. Words like scripts have been thrown out. Ewan McGregor's walking away. Ewan McGregor's unhappy. It's too much like Mandalorian. There's a whole lot of stuff going around, circling around this production of the Obi-Wan series that's supposed to come to Disney Plus later this year. So let's go ahead and let's look at the article. This is reported by The Verge, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about it. So title is Production Delays on Obi-Wan Disney Plus series are part of a bigger Star Wars problem. So let's go ahead and check it. Pre-production on Lucasfilm's highly anticipated Obi-Wan Disney Plus series is delayed as the series grapples with script issues and lead writer Hossein Amini's departure, according to Variety. The news, which was downplayed as a minor by lead actor Ewan McGregor, comes as concerns about Star Wars' future are brought into question following the Rise of the Skywalker's lukewarm release. Numerous outlets reported that Obi-Wan was facing major rewrites to fix story issues. Sources told The Hollywood Reporter that Obi-Wan felt similar to The Mandalorian, suggesting that Ewan McGregor's Jedi could lend a protective hand to a young Luke and possibly even a young Leia. McGregor downplayed the reports in an interview with The Wrap, acknowledging that they moved shooting to next year instead of going ahead at the beginning filming this year, but he says that the scripts are really good. McGregor added that he saw 90% of the writing and really liked it. All this bullshit about creative differences and all that stuff, none of it is true. That's what Ewan McGregor told The Wrap. He also said, we just pushed the dates. Came out, Rise of Skywalker came out. Everyone had more time to read the stuff that had been written, and they felt they wanted to do more work on it. It's not nearly as dramatic as it sounds online. Damage control. So Disney confirmed to The Verge that the Obi-Wan is still in development and director Deb Chow is still attached to direct it, but didn't comment on whether or not the story issues were to blame for the delay. Amini's departure, coupled with the rewrites, however, suggests that there were issues with the project. Lucasfilm Kathleen Kennedy, president, told a stadium full of fans at Disney's Biennial D23 convention in August that we have all the scripts written. This was before The Mandalorian, which debuted alongside Disney Plus on November 12th, and before Rise of Skywalker, which hit theaters on December 20th. Both The Mandalorian and Rise of Skywalker are key to the current conversation about Star Wars, alongside other live-action series heading to Disney Plus. The Cassian Andor spinoff? I knew nothing of this. All right, so based on San Diego's Luna character from 2016's Rogue One, stupid. The series faced its own writing changes in October of 2019. Tony Gilroy, who was brought on to Rogue One to help rewrite some of the film and reshoot some scenes, was brought on to the Cassian Andor series to write the pilot and direct multiple episodes. Although the showrunner Stephen Schiff is still attached to the series, many insiders saw Gilroy's inclusion as a shakeup behind the scenes. Star Wars is in a weird moment. Rise of Skywalker was set with a lukewarm reception, and it didn't perform as well as the box office as the other two films in the new trilogy, The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. Many critics claim that the film, which dealt with its own major issues, leading J.J. Abrams taking over directing duties from Colin Trevorrow, felt rushed. Disney CEO Bob Iger told Variety that although he wasn't dismissive of Star Wars fans, executives at the company don't overreact to negative conversations happening in the space. Still, Iger knows that Star Wars isn't just something they could continue playing around with and hope for the best. Iger added that although they accept multiple pitches, the number of Star Wars projects in development is probably less than people think because they don't want Star Wars fatigue to grow. He was so off with that. Bob Iger believes that the reason why the Star Wars movies were failing were because they were releasing too many of them. Like, come on. Like, you're the head of Disney, not Star Wars. You have the MCU over there dropping 3 Marvel movies a year, and we're eating that shit up, and they're making millions and billions of dollars. And you say something stupid like that about Star Wars when Star Wars fans are even more passionate than Marvel fans. It's ridiculous, man. He says, I think the number of projects is endless, but we're going to be careful. The next one is really important, he said. Aside from The Mandalorian's second season this fall, it's unclear what the next one is for Disney. The newest Star Wars entry on the horizon is the 7th and final season of Dave Filoni's Star Wars The Clone Wars, a continuation of a show from 2008. Production on Obi-Wan is delayed, and although McGregor told reporters that the goal is still to hit the 2021 premiere date, that can change. There also aren't any updates on Luna Cassian's Andor show. The next Star Wars feature film won't hit until 2022, and there are currently no details on what that might look like. Although there's always a chance that Marvel Studio chief Kevin Feige could be taking it, considering he's committed to doing one Star Wars movie. And that's what I said. I think the 2022 film should be Feige's film, and I think it'll be great. Delays are never good signs, but they're not also inherently negative. If the loudest complaint Disney is hearing about The Rise of Skywalker is that the film felt rushed, taking a step back with Obi-Wan is the right move. Rushed? You think that's the biggest complaint about Rise of Skywalker is that if the... Hold on, how did they write? If the loudest complaint Disney is hearing... You think that's the loudest complaint that Disney's hearing about that trash Episode 9 film? You think that's the loudest complaint that they've heard about that garbage Last Jedi? And I'll be very vocal when I say this, because I was one of the OGs when I put a rant out for Episode 7, that trash film too. A lot of people loved that movie. A lot of people loved Episode 7. The Force was backwards in that movie. Everything was weird and different. It wasn't Star Wars. All right, they're wrong here on that. Those movies are pushed back because you reversed the fandom, killed characters we cared about, disrespected them, and you can't tell a cohesive plot, don't know what the Force is, and the freaking lightsaber battles are atrocious. What the freak is a Jedi nowadays? You guys don't even know what it is. It's crazy. It's also something that the gaming industry has started to rely upon. I don't really care about that. Disney is in a transitionary period. Two biggest franchises are entering new stages. Marvel Studios, with Steve Rogers, Captain America is gone. He died. Disney Plus is gearing up for more of a launch. Okay, so what's obvious from all these reports is that Star Wars live action shows are still being figured out. On the other end of the spectrum is Marvel Studios, which moved WandaVision up from 2021 to 2020. The show ties into the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and despite the problems with Doctor Strange's side, because Scott Derrickson left over creative differences, WandaVision is ready to go earlier than expected. This doesn't mean that one is stronger than the other, but it does imply there is a vision for WandaVision. Wow. There is a vision for WandaVision that is still being found on the Star Wars projects. All right. The story has been updated to include digital details from Disney. All right, so that's basically what we got here. So there was a lot of fluff in here. There was a lot of unnecessary fluff in here. So I'll go ahead and I'll break this down. What do I think about the Obi-Wan script, the whole situation? There's definitely mutiny afoot around there. I think The Mandalorian was a success, and I think that the Obi-Wan film, the Obi-Wan television series that was supposed to come out was not enough. I think what they did was, and they're saying it's too much like The Mandalorian. What does that mean exactly, Kathleen? What does that mean? You're trying to tell the world you pulled the scripts and you scrapped the show to do a whole new rewrite because you feel like it was too much like The Mandalorian? Your number one show on your platform? You know, you could pull the wool over a lot of people's eyes, but you ain't pulling it over mine. What happened is that Obi-Wan the Obi-Wan series was boring as shit. He's a legend Jedi and you disrespected him. That's what it was. Barely any saber fights is in that show. I already know what's up. Barely any action, barely any saber fights. They have the younglings probably doing more shit than the OG Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan looks like a cuck. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Obi-Wan's show was boring, and he didn't live up to that Jedi Master status, and you want to spice that shit up because it was whack. And you said you saw everything, and Ewan McGregor has been incredibly quiet. Like, besides that little clip, I mean, my God, it's Ewan McGregor. He's not a chopped liver actor. I think he's putting his damage control statement out here. It's clear to me that because Disney Plus is so, and I've spoken on this multiple times, I'm predicting that this is going to be the number one issue with Disney Plus. Disney Plus is a child's streaming service. It's for families. It's for adults who like kiddie family content to watch, and it's made for children who just like kiddie content. Your 6-year-old son or daughter can turn on Disney Plus, and that's their shit. You know, that's the network for kids. It's not Hulu, even though Hulu has kids content. It's not Netflix, Amazon. They all have kids content, but Disney Plus is where it's at for children. And when I seen The Mandalorian's number one issue, even though it's a good show, is that it has a ceiling, and its ceiling is yay high. Blood, murder, guts, stakes, Disney Plus. It has been confounded and it's been constrained by that PG rating that Disney Plus is going to put on all of its original content. So I think Obi-Wan was also a victim of this. I believe that the show is trash, and probably good thing for her. She realized it was trash. But based on what she's saying, that's just me filling in the blanks behind her web of lies and deceit and propaganda bullshit that she always spews. Because Kathleen Kennedy is a certified liar. She got on camera and said she was going to take care of George's characters and lead them off the way he left them. And she freaking lied to the world. So I can't believe a single word that comes out of her mouth. So hearing that she had an issue with it because it was just like Mandalorian, and that's kind of cheesy. What the freak is wrong with you? Because when I hear something like that, oh, Obi-Wan was actually going across the galaxy with a young Luke Skywalker and a young Leia Skywalker, or either or, like they were doing with Baby Yoda in The Mandalorian, a fire! Sign me up for that shit. Are you kidding me? Me as a Star Wars fan, ex-Star Wars fan, me as an ex-Star Wars fan, the number one freaking thing that I wanted after the prequels was show me the 20-year gap from episode 3 to episode 6. Show me what goes on when he had to learn from Qui-Gon how to communicate with the other realms of the Force, the special training that he had. What happens after Order 66? Darth Vader hunting down and killing the remaining Jedi that are in existence. That time period is the best Star Wars time period to tell a story from in film, and they still haven't done it. And you know, people say, "Oh, Jody, watch the Clone Wars. They show some stuff. Watch the cartoon." Bruh, miss me. Cartoon might be great. Not knocking it. But put that shit on film, please. We need to see a movie trilogy about this shit. Darth Vader is known as that dude, but he is not that dude, because I've seen all the movies, and Darth Vader at the end of the saga, episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, Darth Vader is a whining, complaining, weak-minded, simp, buster, cuck, pussy is what he is. Oh, and add Rogue One in there too. They got disrespect on Darth Vader's name, and he needs to redeem his mask and redeem himself, because I ain't seen nothing fire from Vader. If they made a trilogy based on that gap of what happens after Order 66 leading up to A New Hope, showing why Darth Vader is that dude, then you will freaking have me right where you want me. And you'll have the rest of the Star Wars fans right where you want them too. So when you say something silly like, oh, Obi-Wan after Order 66, where he drops Luke off to the family as a baby, he comes back probably when he's like 10 or 11, and then has to take him with him because, you know, word is that the Empire knows about some Forcelings over there on Tatooine somewhere, and they looking on the planet, so he got to take him up out of there. You know what I'm saying? And he got to take him on his journey, and Obi-Wan is sabering people up and shit to protect Luke. Luke is the first time Luke lights up a lightsaber, he didn't even remember. Well, they can't do it because New Hope, he never seen a lightsaber before, so he'll just be a kid punching people and shit. You know, I don't freaking know, man. I just really feel like this is just like hoopla. This is just hoopla shit. So, I think that Obi-Wan was just a bad TV show. And I think Kathleen Kennedy's like, oh, shoot, man, we're just getting steam. Oh my God, cancel it. We need new writers. That's what it is. Because what happens when something is delayed? Indefinitely, like where it's like a year plus delay, like where you got to get new writers, new director, new this. It's because the product is bad. It's terrible quality. No one likes it. You probably tested it, showed it to a couple of CEOs, showed it to a couple of people you trust, and they're like, Kathleen, girl, you still want to work at Disney? You still want to work here, girl? Based on that shit, you trying to get fired tomorrow. Kathleen's like, okay, good. Thank you for telling me. Cancel it. Order, execute order 66 on the whole production. So that's basically what it is to me. It's very simple. Obi-Wan's going through a mess because Disney's a mess because they don't know how to handle Star Wars. The end result is Kathleen Kennedy needs to be fired yesterday, last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, never hired. George should have never trusted her. Should have got rid of her a long time ago. Kathleen, you owe George an apology. Call him up, go to his house with a freaking fruitcake, tell him to turn around and take the knife out of his back that you put there, and then fire yourself. And then Disney, Bob Iger, stop talking that bullshit and call up. Freak, you guys bought Fox. Call up Warner Brothers or Universal and be like, hey, what's up, man? I got this. Hey, look, you ain't never gonna have a phone call like this in your life. I got this Disney on sale, bro. Disney on sale? Yeah, man. Let me get a couple billion, man. What's happening? You need to go ahead and make that happen. Let one of these other studios take control of this because you guys got too much shit going on, man. You got Disney already, the animated. You got Pixar, Disney Studios, and Marvel, and Fox. I understand y'all trying to take over the world and shit, but sometimes you gotta let things go to grow in other aspects. That's really what's about. When a business dabble, look at Sony in the 90s. Sony in the 1990s was the greatest technology-based company for consumer products. Sony Walkman, Sony CD player, headphones. Then they start expanding MP3 players, cords, HDMI, TVs, CDs, actual CDs, microwave, refrigerator, laptop, cell phones, music. Them fools had their hands in everything to the point where their quality dipped. No one wanted Sony. Sony became a laughing stock. Sony was the number one thing. Hey, you got Sony? Oh, you cool. You pay a lot of money for that. That's tight, bro. And then in 2000s, like, that shit Sony garbage. That shit trash. Because they had their hand in too many pots. The quality took a dip. Sometimes you got to sell off shit. You know what I'm saying? Sell things off so you can focus and restructure your infrastructure to be focused on a target thing that you do well at. And that's what Disney needs to do too. It's business, baby. All right. Put down in the comment section what you guys think. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I'm Jody Joe, and I'm out this thing, man. Deuces.